Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your greatest Royal Rumble event in WWE history in Saudi Arabia. The overall Rumble was pretty decent. 50 man. They couldn't get all superstars in there, so they got some local guys and what have you. And I'll give you the order of participants: Daniel Bryan, number 1. Dolph Ziggler, number 2. Sin Cara, Curtis Axel, Mark Henry, Mike Kanellis, Hiroki Sumi. He's a sumo wrestler from local. Victor, then Kofi, Tony Nese, Dash Wilder, Hornswoggle returned. Primo, Cologne, Xavier Woods, Bo Dallas, Kurt Angle, Scott Dawson, Goldust, Connor, Elias, Luke Gallows, then Rhino, then Drew Gulak, then Tucker Knight. From NXT, Bobby Roode was next. Fandango. Chad Gable, Rey Mysterio made his WWE return. Mojo Rawley, then Tyler Breeze, then Big E, Carl Anderson, Apollo Crews, Roderick Strong. From NXT, Randy Orton, Heath Slater, Babatunde from NXT. At least that's how they pronounce it. Don't know how to spell it. Baron Corbin was next. Titus O'Neil. Dan Mather from NXT. Braun Strowman, Ty Dillinger, Kurt Hawkins, Bobby Lashley. Great Khali made his WWE return. Probably one night only. Or daytime over there. Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon, Shelton Benjamin, Big Cass, and finally, in a light bright vest, not jacket, Y2J, Chris Jericho was number 50. Guess what? There was no Sami Zayn in the event, as they advertised him in the Rumble itself. And the pre-show, Chris Jericho was backstage for the 50-man Royal Rumble match. Jericho talked about how special the event is and says it's like WrestleMania with the same vibe. Jericho says that they're here to change how WWE is perceived in Saudi Arabia and how the kingdom is perceived back in the United States. Regarding the big Rumble match, Jericho says everyone on the show is a top star, and he really thinks that the actual card itself is bigger than WrestleMania. Jericho also predicts that he will win the match, but if not, he will place in the top 20. Jericho, in this interview, he was wearing a black shirt with a tie. On the pre-show, he was not wearing what he was wearing. And here's a link for that for you. All right, now for the Rumble itself. Greatest Rumble event opens live from the King Abdullah Sports City's King Abdullah International Stadium in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. As Mike Rome welcomes us to the show, they perform the national anthems for their country first and then the United States next. They cut to an opening video package. The pyro goes off inside and outside the stadium with fireworks and music plays. Michael Colesall welcomes us to the largest televised event in WWE history. 60,000 plus was announced. The stadium was sold out, supposedly. I did see some open seats on the pre-show as well as during the show. Colesall joined by Corey Graves and Byron Saxon. The announcers hyped the show and call it a historic night. Match number 1, Triple H versus John Cena. Right to the ring, out first comes Triple H to a big pop. John Cena was out next as we see Triple H greeting fans at ringside. There are a lot of young Cena fans on both sides of the ramp. As Cena comes out for his entrance, they're all wearing Cena t-shirts and hats. Cena greets them before running down the large ramp. They lock up and go at it. Triple H overpowers and shoves Cena to the mat for a pop. And some laughs from the crowd. They finally lock up again, and Cena shoves Triple H to the mat this time. Cena poses for a pop. They lock up for a test of strength now. Triple H ends up kicking Cena around and dropping him with a shoulder. Triple H then mocks Cena with the UKTB taunt. And Cena comes back and drops Triple H with a shoulder. Triple H drops Cena with a big right hand. They trade shots going back and forth. Triple H takes his time with Cena and the crowd. playing to them for some mixed reactions. Cena with a quick 2 count out of nowhere. Triple H clothesline Cena for another pin attempt. Triple H then continues to take his time controlling the match. Cena looks for an opening, but Triple H catches him in a sleeper hold that brings him down to his knees in the middle of the ring. Cena ducks a shot and finally lands some offense. Triple H encounters a big slam and takes Cena down. Triple H looks to slow things down again. Well, Cena fights back, and they trade shots in the middle of the ring. Right, left. Yay! Boo! Yay! With the crowd. They did it throughout the whole evening. Cena takes control, but Triple H avoids the attitude adjustment. Cena then slams Triple H and can't get the 5-knuckle shuffle. Triple H with a big back chop. Triple H taunts Cena and uses his own move, the 5-knuckle shuffle. It's like a video game. Move thief. Cena ends up dodging a pedigree and sending Triple H over the top rope to the floor. Cena follows and slams Triple H's face into the barrier. Cena then sends Triple H shoulder first into the steel ring steps, ring post. And then Cena brings it back into the ring, climbs up top. Cena leaps for the big leg drop, but Triple H moved out of the way, stood up, catches him with a spine buster for a close 2 count. Both guys are down now. They trade shots in the middle of the ring while they're getting up. Cena counters and gets the SGF applied for about a minute. Triple H gets to the ropes. Cena readjusts. Triple H ends up breaking the hold and making a comeback with a spine buster. Triple H with shots in the corner now. Cena makes a comeback and hits a 5-knuckle shuffle. Cena nails attitude adjustment in the middle of the ring, but Triple H kicks out just in time. Actually, it was a 3 count because the referee was slow, and Cena, and most of the match was really slow. It's more like, you ever watch the $6 Million Man TV show? Well, on to the show. More back and forth as Triple H countered another attitude adjustment. Nails the pedigree for a close 2 count. They trade more offense and counters. Cena gets the SCF locked in again. More back and forth. Cena goes for to hit the attitude adjustment again. And catapults into the corner and nails another attitude adjustment for the pin. Yep, I talk faster than John Cena does his moves in the match. Action match, Cena stands tall as music plays. Cena hits the corners to pose as we go to replays. Cena takes the mic and says it's an honor and a privilege to be here. He says regardless of what's going on in his world, he was not going to miss this event. Cena thanks the Kingdom for their hospitality that extends for past today. He thanks everyone again for allowing him to be a part of something special. Cena tells everyone to enjoy the rest of the show and leaves as his music hits. As he's going up the ramp, he's starting to strip, takes his elbow pads off, his wristbands off, throws it to some fans. Next up, we got Cruiserweight title match, Kalisto versus Cedric Alexander. After we get a break, as they do some videos hyping up this match, they get a look back at the WWE's Arabic announce team at ringside, introduces them, and they are on the broadcast doing their broadcast as well. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Cedric Alexander was out first as Mike Rome does the ring introductions. Oh, by the way, Jericho in the pre-show interview called the announcer Tom when it was Rome, admitting that he's like, yeah, you're Tom to me. Well, anyways, Kalisto tries to get the Lucha chant going on as he's coming down the ramp. They lock up a tray hold to kick off the first singles match. Their first singles match ever. They trade more offense and we get a stalemate. Cedric has Kalisto, tells Kalisto to bring it. Kalisto ends up hitting a Hurricanrana. Kalisto calls for a Lucha, chants again. Lucha, Lucha. Cedric gets dumped over the top rope and goes to the floor. Kalisto springboards up and launches himself out to the floor, taking Cedric down. Kalisto brings it back in the ring, goes up top. Kalisto is forced to roll through. This leads to Cedric knocking Kalisto off the apron and into the floor. Cedric ran the ropes and nailed a dive out to Kalisto. We see a space at ringside in the crowd that is reserved for the Saudi royal family, according to Michael Cole, as Cedric ends up dropping Kalisto with a big drop kick to face for the 2 count, for a 2 count. They never showed the royal family. They're just reserved. Cedric keeps control. Kalisto grounded with a body lock. Cedric keeps a hold locked and keeps powering up to slam Kalisto back to the mat. Kalisto finally fights out with an arm drag. Kalisto gets sent to the apron, but he kicks Cedric in the head like a Pele kick. Kalisto flies in with a crossbody. Kalisto with more offense to turn it around. Kalisto nails a DDT for a close 2 count. More back and forth between two. Cedric nails Michinoku driver for a close 2 count. Kalisto ends up taking it to the top, but Cedric counters a Hurricanrana. They tangle up high as Kalisto drives Cedric to the mat with a big seated Spanish fly. Almost like Starship Pain. He drops the mat, springboard in. What have you? More like a springboard seated elbow smash. Kalisto with a 2 count. They trade shots and counters in the middle of the ring now. Kalisto counters a lumbar check. Cedric blocks a Salida del Sol in midair and turns it into the lumbar check for the pinfall. Cedric Alexander is your winner and retains the Cruiserweight title. After match, Cedric clutches the title and recovers as his music hits. We go to replay. Cedric hits corner to pose and raises the title. Match for the Raw vacant tag team title match. The Bar versus Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. Wonderful! Well, that's Matt Hardy's new gimmick. That's a Woken character. The announcer talk about how Braun Strowman and the 10-year-old Nicholas relinquished the Raw tag team titles after WrestleMania 34 and what led to tonight's match for the vacant straps. Out first comes the team of Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. Cesaro and Sheamus followed out next. Matt and Cesaro started things off. They played to the crowds. As Matt gets the delete chant going, Cesaro tries for a quick kick, but Matt blocks it and drops him. Wyatt tags in for some quick double team move to floor Cesaro. Wyatt runs into a boot in the corner. Cesaro tags in Sheamus for some double team, stomps in the corner. Sheamus rocks Wyatt with a kick, but Wyatt floors him and yells out. Matt comes back in for some double team moves. Cesaro comes in, but they send him out of the ring. Sheamus goes to the corner as Wyatt and Hardy celebrate. Matt with a shot in the corner and a neck breaker to Sheamus for a 2 count. Matt gets the delete chant going. Again, Sheamus blocks the twist of fate. Cesaro gets involved as the referee is distracted, allowing Sheamus to turn it around. Cesaro with another cheap shot on the floor. The Bar with more double teaming in the corner. Cesaro with a 2 count on Hardy. Sheamus comes back in and drops a big knee to the chest for a 2 count. Sheamus keeps Matt grounded. Matt drops Sheamus, but Cesaro tags in and takes him to the corner for a big uppercut. Cesaro with a gut wrench suplex for a 2 count. Sheamus with a cheap shot to Hardy while the referee is distracted again. Cesaro covers for a 2 count. Cesaro taunts the crowd and kicks Wyatt off the apron. Matt rolls Cesaro up for a 2 count. Cesaro then turns it back around in the corner with a double team from Sheamus. Sheamus with another close 2 count. Sheamus wastes some time as Matt fights back. Matt with a side effect. Wyatt slowly making it back to the apron now. Wyatt and Cesaro tag in at the same time. Wyatt unloads and takes Cesaro to the corner. Wyatt also drops Sheamus and launches himself into Cesaro for a 2 count. Sheamus then stops Sister Abigail to Cesaro. Cesaro with a 2 count to Wyatt. The Bar with another big double team, but Matt breaks the pin just in time. Matt with a twist of fate to Cesaro. Sheamus dumps Matt out of the ring. Sheamus calls for the brogue kick, but Wyatt turns upside down, the gator crawl, and taunts him. Matt with a distraction from the apron. Wyatt avoids the brogue kick and hits Sister Abigail on Sheamus. Matt tags in, and they hit the elevated twist of fate on Sheamus for the pin and the titles. Elevated twist of fate? Nah. More like a face plant. One goes to legs, one goes to feet. Straight down. Winners and new Raw Tag Team Champions, Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. After the match, Wyatt and Hardy pose with the titles as their music hits. U.S. title match was up next. Jinder Mahal versus Jeff Hardy. I expected Jeff Hardy to retain, and just wait for the results. We get a look at what led to tonight's U.S. title match. Out first comes WWE Champion Jeff Hardy to a big pop. Sunil Singh is out next to do the ring introductions for Jinder Mahal. Jinder looks to take early control on Jeff, but Jeff fights back and unloads, sending Jinder out to the floor. Jeff runs the top of the barrier and jumps off, taking Jinder down to the floor. They bring him back in, but Singh distracts Hardy, allowing Jinder to take control of the match. Jinder unloads and drops a bunch of knees to Hardy now. Jinder with more offense, including a neck breaker and then a knee drop. 2 count for a pin. Jinder keeps Jeff down until Jeff fights. Back hits towards the fate. Jeff comes back with more offense, but he can't put Jinder away just yet. Jinder runs into the boots in the corner. Jeff goes for the top. Goes up top for a whisper in the wind, but nobody's home. Jeff with a 2 count. Hardy with a cardiac arrest and more offense. Singh gets involved again, but Hardy nails him. Jinder comes from behind, goes for the collars, but Jeff counters. They trade pin attempts, and Jeff nails the twist of fate. Jeff goes up top for the top and nails the swanton and covers for the pinfall. Winner and still U.S. champion Jeff Hardy. After the match, Jeff grabs the title, celebrates as his music hits. We go to replays. Hardy celebrates, gets a standing ovation from the crowd. Byron Saxton joins the Hall of Famer Booker T, Jerry the King Lawler, and Jim Ross on the panel. We get a video of how society is changing in Saudi Arabia and how WWE's trip is a part of that. We go back to the panel for comments on how amazing the trip has been. Chris Jericho backstage with Mike Rome. Okay, well, I spoiled it. This was during the show. Jericho calls him Tom Phillips. Jericho talks about the 50-man Rumble match and some of the superstars in the match, including the stupid idiot Kevin Owens. Jericho can't wait to get his hands on Owens. The segment ends with Jericho adding everybody to the list. Cameraman, you look stupid. You've just been added to the list. Rome, a sound guy, writer Ed Koski, he should be fired, especially for writing the Brock Lesnar finish with Roman Reigns, and 49 other superstars. You've all been added to the list. We go back to the panel for more hype on tonight's matches. JR believes the Rumble match belongs to Strowman. Mike is backstage with Daniel Bryan now. Bryan talks about winning tonight's 50-man match. We go back to the panel, and that's it for that little break. SmackDown Tag Team title match, Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers. Well, I was predicting the Usos to win this match, but stay tuned for what happens. We're going to ring out first comes Usos, SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Bludgeon Brothers are out next. Rowan starts off with Jay and takes control. Harper tags in with more offense before another quick tag to Rowan. They double team Uso and keep him down with quick tags. Rowan with a big backbreaker and a splash for a 2 count. Bludgeon Brothers with more offense and tags. Rowan goes into the ring post, but Harper tags in and prevents the tag. Jimmy finally gets a hot tag as Harper ends up on the floor. Jimmy runs the ropes and leaps out onto Harper. Jimmy with offense and both opponents down. Uso with a big crossbody and a 1 count on Harper. Uso avoids the lariat and drops Harper with a kick. Jimmy wastes some time, but gets hyped up and slices Harper in the corner. Harper powers back and goes for the power bomb, but Jimmy slides out. Jay tags back in, and they double team Harper. Usos with a double team kicks to Harper in the corner 2 or 3 times, corner to corner. Harper takes double super kicks. Rowan gets sent back to the floor. Jay goes to the top and hits the big splash on Harper for a close 2 count. Rowan drops Jay on the floor, and Harper takes advantage of the distraction. Rowan and Harper double team Jimmy in the ring some more, and Rowan covers for the pinfall and retain as your tag team champions. After the match, Rowan and Harper stand tall with their titles, and we go to replays. They pose over Jimmy with the titles in the air as the referee checks on him. We get a video package for tonight's ladder match for the Intercontinental title. Samoa Joe versus Finn Balor versus The Miz versus Seth Rollins. I was kind of predicting Samoa Joe to win this match, but stay tuned to see what happens. We go to the ring. Out first comes Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins. Normally, the champion comes out last. We see ladders sitting around the ring, around the entrance as the Rollins marches down the large ramp. Samoa Joe is out next as we see the title being raised above the ring on its hanger. Out next comes The Miz as the pyro gets off. Finn Balor is out last. And I have seen Samoa Joe in some ladder matches in TNA. Pretty damn good for a big man himself. The bell rings and everyone trades. Samoa Joe comes down to the ring as the title being raised above the ring. Out next is Miz. As pyro goes off inside and outside the arena. Finn Balor was out last. He had no pyro. Bell rings and everyone trades looks. They all look up at the belt above the ring. Miz attacks Balor while Rollins unloads on Joe in the corner. Balor a basement drop kick to Miz. Joe with a splash and insecurity to Balor in the corner. Joe runs into a boot from Rollins as does Miz. Rollins with a double blockbuster to Miz and Joe. Balor blocks a knee from Rollins, but Rollins gets the upper hand and sends him out to the floor. Rollins runs the ropes and sends Balor over the Arabic announce table with a dive. Rollins goes back in and delivers another dive out the other side, taking Miz down. Rollins grabs the ladder, but Joe wants it. Miz and Rollins take the ladder from Joe and double team him with it. Balor runs the ropes and nails a dive, taking Rollins and Miz down on the floor. Joe nails Balor with a ladder, and then he's the only one standing now. Joe brings the ladder into the ring, but in comes Rollins. Rollins works on Joe, but Joe drops him face first on the ladder. Balor comes in, but Joe chops him and keeps control. Joe with a running knee in the knee to the face. While Balor is down in the corner, Joe looks to powerbomb Balor on the ladder, but Balor drops him onto it. Balor with another kick, another thick shot that causes Joe to roll out to the floor for a breather. Miz stops Balor from climbing up the ladder. Rollins comes in and ends up taking Miz down. Rollins positions the ladder on and climbs up, but Balor stops him and climbs up himself. Rollins pulls Balor back to the mat. Balor climbs up the other side, and they trade shots. Miz and Joe come over on each side and take Balor and Rollins down. Joe stares Miz down. Miz proposes that they team up. Miz offers his hand for a shake. Joe does shake, but pulls Miz in and drops him with a shoulder. More like a headbutt. Joe stands the ladder up now. Joe uses the ladder on Rollins instead and then slams Balor onto it. Joe then launches Rollins back first into the ladder. Joe rams the ladder into Miz and he goes to the floor. Balor with a sling blade and a corner drop kick to Joe into the ladder, which falls on top of Joe. Balor goes up top for the coup de grace on top of Joe and the ladder. Rollins runs up instead and looks to go for a superplex. Miz comes over, but Joe sends him out. Joe brings Balor and Rollins to the mat with a big superplex. Joe goes under the ring for another ladder. Joe goes to stand the ladder up, but Miz drops him. Miz rolls a skull-crushing finale into the ladder. Miz is all alone in the ring now. Stalling as Miz stands up the ladder now and starts climbing. Rollins runs up the other side and stops him. Out of nowhere, Miz fights back. Miz knocks Rollins to the floor, but now Balor runs up and fights with him. They both go back to the mat. Miz takes Balor out. Rollins then climbs up, but Miz pushes the ladder over. Miz drops Rollins with a big DDT. Miz then rams Rollins with the ladder. Fans chant, "This is awesome" for Miz as he keeps control. Balor charges, but Miz floors him with the ladder. Miz with more ladder shots. Rollins gets set out and into the Arabic announce table again. It does not break. Balor drops Miz with a kick, and he lands on the ladder. Balor goes up and hits coup de grace on Miz and the ladder. Miz rolls to the floor for a breather. Balor stands the ladder up and climbs up. Joe runs in and stops Balor. They go at it. Balor drops Joe with an overhead kick. Balor climbs up, but Joe pulls him down and goes for a coquina clutch. Balor escaped and nailed the double stomp, as he did not have the coquina clutch fully in. As he got him to the floor, he just was about to apply, but he just rolls through and out. Balor ends up on Joe's shoulders now, but slides out. Joe drops Balor with a Uranage. Balor comes back and climbs up for the title, but Rollins springboards from the top of the ropes, out of nowhere, off camera, from the apron, more like from the corner, landed on the top rung of the ladder, and grabs the title on top of Balor, as Balor was busted open in the meantime, and Rollins just grabbed the title and falls to the mat without Balor even doing anything. But Balor is still on top of the ladder, like shocked, and rubbing his eye, because he got busted open like right about here or there, on the eyebrow. After the bell, Balor is left on top of the ladder, like I just said, looking shocked at how Rollins came out of nowhere to grab the title. Joe backs up the ramp while Miz is down on the floor. We go to replays and come back to Rollins celebrating as his music plays. Balor is bleeding from above his eye. We're getting a video package of the WWE trials held in Jeddah this past week. Mike Rome is in the ring now with 4 standout prospects, as I did earlier this week on the 8th. Well, they have eliminated 4, and your finalists are Nasser, Hussein, Mansoor, and Faisal. They get pops from the crowd, and 2 of them cut brief promos. After the second promo, which was pretty good, music interrupts. Out comes the DeBerry brothers. Sean DeBerry and his brother, Ari DeBerry from NXT. They're carrying Iranian flags, and the fans are booing them. Ari takes the mic and runs down each prospect, saying they're not real athletes. Real athletes like the DeBerry brothers come from the strongest nation in the world, Iran. More boost from the crowd. Sean talks trash on the mic now. Ari gets in the face of Mansoor and shoves him. Mansoor then drops him. Faisal drops Sean with a kick. Hussein with a big slam to Sean next. As Nasser is awaiting for the crowd to go wild. And then grab Sean next, tosses him out of the ring. Just pushes him clean out of the ring, because he's almost like, he's like 6'8", 6'9". Out of the ring and on in front of his brother. Prospect stand tall, and as the crowd pops for your local talent. We get a video package for tonight's title, WWE title match, Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles. We go to the ring. Out first comes Shinsuke Nakamura with his new entrance. WWE Champion AJ Styles out for this WrestleMania 34 rematch. And by the way, the arena looks just like it did at WrestleMania. With a fade. Y'all think I got the steel cage above them. Formal ring introduction for Greg Hamilton. Bell rings and they go back and forth to start. Nakamura comes back into the ring after a breather. AJ takes control and takes Nakamura down. They break and tangle again, going into the ropes as both get fired up. The referee warns them. Nakamura plays some mind games against the ropes and mocks AJ. Nakamura tells AJ to bring it, and he does. They run the ropes and AJ nails a dropkick. AJ takes Nakamura to the corner and slams his face. AJ with a chop and a takedown. AJ kicks Nakamura in the back and covers for a quick pin attempt. AJ gets more offense, but Nakamura gets his boot up in the corner. They go back to the ropes, and Nakamura kicks AJ's knees out as they are breaking. Nakamura stomps away as the referee counts out. Nakamura positions AJ on the apron and charges on the floor with a big shot to the chin. Nakamura comes down with a shot to the neck, knocking AJ to the floor from the apron. Nakamura smirks and brings it back into the ring. Nakamura with 2 quick pin attempts. Nakamura with more offense in the corner. Nakamura keeps AJ grounded. AJ finally counters and drops Nakamura face first. Both superstars are down as the fans rally. AJ with clothesline and a big shot to the jaw. AJ kips up and nails a shot in the corner. Nakamura slides out, but AJ grabs him right back and nails a Yuchigoroshi for a 2 count. More back and forth between the two now. Nakamura gets the upper hand and calls for the Kinshasa. Nakamura charges, but AJ counters and rolls him up for a 2 count. Styles counters and rolls into a calf crusher in the middle of the ring. Nakamura finally gets to the bottom rope, and the hold is broken. AJ gets up first and shows some frustration. Nakamura with a kick to the side of the head out of nowhere. AJ boots Nakamura and springboards in, but Nakamura catches him in midair and places him over the top rope. Nakamura charges with a high knee in the corner for a 2 count. Nakamura then takes AJ to the top and kicks him. Nakamura climbs up, but Styles sends him back to the mat with a counter. They both get up and trade strikes in the middle of the ring as fans go along with them. Boo, yeah, boo, yeah. AJ with a big shot to the jaw. Nakamura suckers AJ in and kicks, but AJ fires right back with kicks of his own. Nakamura ends up getting AJ in the armbar, but AJ is resisting. AJ turns that into a 1 count. They get up, and AJ nails a Pele kick, sending Nakamura back down. AJ looks to go for a phenomenal forearm, but he has to roll through after springboarding in. He almost hits the referee, distracted the referee for a second. Nakamura takes advantage and hits a low blow from behind. The referee not seeing it. The referee doesn't see it as AJ makes it to the bottom rope to break up the pinfall. Nakamura charges with a big knee to the face, but AJ counters and drops him. Nakamura rolls to the floor for a breather. AJ goes to the floor and tackles Nakamura over the Arabic announce table. Referee counts both guys out. No winner, no contest. But they ruled it a double count out as AJ launched Nakamura to the barrier at the 8 count. Referee counts both guys out. They're both all on the barrier, battling out. After the bell, AJ continued to beat down on Nakamura at ringside. Then AJ charged and crashed into Nakamura, sending them both over the barrier at the timekeeper's area. AJ with a steel chair shot to the back. AJ brings Nakamura back into the ring, but Nakamura rolls right back out to the other side. Fans are booing. AJ springboards from the ring to the floor, taking Nakamura down again. AJ's music hits as he looks on from the ramp. Referees are checking on Nakamura as AJ returns to the ring to raise the title while his music plays. We get a video package for the return of The Undertaker. And everybody knows The Undertaker's going to win. He has never lost a casket match. We go back to the ring and we see the casket at ringside. They go over the match rules. Aiden English is out first, singing about how this is The Undertaker's final day and how they will celebrate because it's Rusev Day. Music hits and next comes Rusev. The bell finally tolls as The Undertaker makes his grand entrance to a big pop. Rusev Day looks on as Taker slowly marches to the ring, stopping at the casket before entering. The lightning flashes as Taker walks up the steps. He stops and takes his hat off as the big entrance wraps. The bell rings and Rusev quickly goes to the floor as Taker has the casket opened by 2 officials. Fans are going wild as Rusev comes back to the apron while Taker stares him down. Rusev stalls more and goes to the floor, but Taker follows and rocks him. Taker brings him back into the ring, but Rusev attacks, backing Taker into the corner with strikes. Rusev unloads and stops away now. Taker is still standing. Rusev turns around and Taker tosses him into the corner. Taker with a big strike in the corner now. Taker works on Rusev's shoulder. Taker goes to the top and nails old school for a pop. Rusev ends on top of the closed casket. Freaks him out. He scrambles up the ramp and Aiden tries to talk him back into the match. Taker watches from the ring. Rusev lures Taker to the floor and turns it around. Rusev sends Taker into the barrier. Rusev tries to whip Taker into the barrier, but Taker counters and launches Rusev by the timekeeper's area. Taker then slams Rusev's face into the main announce table now. Fan chant for Taker as he positions Rusev on the apron with his neck hanging off. Taker goes to the apron and drops the huge leg drop. Taker brings it back in the ring and asks for the casket to be raised. Open. Taker rolls Rusev into the casket, but Aiden won't let the leg close. Taker backs English away, but Rusev is back in the ring, getting to his feet. Taker is entering the ring as Rusev drops him with a big kick. Rusev stops away on Taker. Taker finally fights out of the corner, but Rusev fights back. Fans go along as they trade big strikes in the middle of the ring. Taker drops Rusev. Rusev comes back and drops Taker with a big spin kick. Rusev eyes the casket, but focuses on keeping Taker down as English cheers him on. Fans are booing as Rusev calls for accolade. Rusev stomps on Taker's back and applies a hold, facing the casket. Of course, there's no submission. Rusev breaks the hold in the middle of the ring, and Taker looks to be laid out, flat on his back. Taker sits up straight up as Rusev calls for the casket to be opened. Leaning over the ring ropes, Rusev turns around into a chokeslam attempt from Taker. Rusev counters and they trade shots in the middle of the ring again. They run the ropes and Taker ducks a shot, then hits a big chokeslam. Taker looks back at the casket before picking Rusev back up and tossing him into it. English runs inside the ring before the lid is closed. Taker turns around and chokeslams English. Taker cuts the throat and grabs English for a tombstone piledriver in the middle of the ring. For a big pop from the crowd, Taker rolls English into the casket along with Rusev, and then slams the lid and wins the match. After the match, Taker stands tall as the music hits. Taker looks around the crowd as we go to replays. We come back and the lights are low. Taker poses in the middle of the ring as pyro goes off around the stadium. Dead Man exits the ring and stops to look at the casket after passing by it. Before marching up the ramp, just looks back, goes back up the ramp. He stops at the top of the stage, looks back at the ring, just turns around, turns it back for about 10 seconds, raises his fist in the air as the lightning strikes in that segment. Video package for the Universal title match. We go to the ring, and we already know Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. We go to the ring and see the steel cage being lowered. Out first comes Roman Reigns as pyro goes off, inside and outside the arena. Out next comes Universal Champion Brock Lesnar with Paul Heyman, as Paul Heyman does the ring introductions. Lesnar smirks at Reigns as he walks around the cage and checks things out. They stare each other down as the Beast enters the cage. We get formal ring introductions. Heyman interrupts the intros and does his own grand introduction for his client. Bell rings and they psych each other up. Reigns charges, but Lesnar catches him and delivers a German suplex number 1. Goes up like 5 or 6 times. German suplexes. Lesnar scoops Reigns and drops him in the middle of the ring with the F5 after the 4th one. Lesnar spirals down at Reigns and grabs him for another F5. Reigns slides out this time and nails a Superman punch. Reigns with a second Superman punch to stun Lesnar. Reigns hits the 3rd Superman punch, then calls for a spear. Reigns charges, but Lesnar scoops him up for an F5. But Reigns escapes the cage wall. Reigns climbs up, gets one leg over the top of the cage, but Lesnar grabs him. Lesnar drops Reigns while they're both on the top rope. Reigns falls to the mat. Lesnar climbs up top of the cage to escape. Lesnar is moving slow, allowing Reigns to recover and grab him. Reigns forces Lesnar to come back to the top rope. Reigns brings Lesnar back to the mat with a powerbomb, but Lesnar gets right up. Heyman looks concerned. We see Samoa Joe backstage watching on a monitor as he will face Reigns at Backlash on May 6th, as well as in Boulder City at CenturyLink Center on June the 10th. Reigns nails Lesnar and tosses him into the steel steps a few times. Reigns hits 2 spears on Lesnar now. Reigns waits for Lesnar to get up and hits another spear. Reigns is slow to cover, and Lesnar kicks out at 2. Lesnar ends up coming back and dropping Reigns with an F5 after the cage door is opened, and a few assists from Heyman at ringside. Heyman slides a steel chair into cage now. Reigns with more offense to keep Lesnar down after a counter. Reigns with 3 stiff chair shots to Lesnar's back, and then another. Reigns drops the chair and calls for a Superman punch. Lesnar gets up, and Reigns connects with a punch. Reigns charges with a spear, but they go flying through the side of the cage, knocking the fence down. Both land on the steel fence at the same time. Lesnar's feet are still up in the air. Referee calls for the bell, but Reigns' feet is on the floor as he is standing at that point. My opinion, Reigns is your new champion. As a referee just declared Brock Lesnar the winner of the match, as his feet never touch the floor until after Reigns is already standing on his feet while the fence is on the floor. Whoever wrote that, Ed Koskey, your ass needs to be fired. That's Vince McMahon says. Well, they ruled Brock Lesnar winner after an announcement. Everyone is shocked at the finish. Both are down on the outside as Heyman looks on. With the title, we go to replays of the spear, and Lesnar did hit the ground first, but not his feet. I've seen the video and seen the live action. Heyman checks on Lesnar, but he and Reigns are still down. We go to more replays. We come back to Lesnar and Heyman marching up the ramp. Lesnar stops to look back at the carnage as they showed the footage again 3 or 4 times. One of Lesnar's foot was still leaning on the ring apron, the side of the ring with the steel cage up on it as well. So how in the hell can your feet touch the floor, referee, or Ed Koskey in your writings? The announcer then hyped the WWE Backlash pay-per-view and sent us to a promo for the WWE Network. 50-man Royal Rumble match. We go to ring rules for tonight's main event. We see the trophy and the championship title belt that the winner will receive. And it's green. Same green that Rey Mysterio wears. Or tonight's costume. Out first comes Daniel Bryan as he is number 1. Out next was Dolph Ziggler as he is number 2 to start the match off. Bryan tries to dump Ziggler early on. They come back to the mat and trade offense. Ziggler tries to dump Ziggler now, but he hangs on. Sin Cara is out next at number 3. Ziggler attacks, but misses. Sin Cara nails a moonsault on both opponents. Sin Cara with a powerbomb to Ziggler. Sin Cara and Bryan go at it. Sin Cara then takes control, but gets dumped to the apron. Sin Cara fights back in and goes up top for a swanton bomb on Bryan. Sin Cara tries to toss Bryan, but he can't get him out. Ziggler comes up and over and goes at it with Sin Cara. Sin Cara blocks a zigzag and nails a super kick. Ziggler clotheslines Sin Cara over the top and eliminates him. The timer counts down as it's only 1 minute for every superstar to come into the ring, into the event, into the match. Curtis Axel was number 4. Axel does not come out to the Miz's theme that Mr. Oz has been using. Axel hits the ring and unloads, taking Bryan to the corner. Ziggler fights Axel off, and they go at it in the corner. Timer counts down, and here comes the 2018 Hall of Famer Mark Henry at number 5. Axel tries to eliminate Bryan as Henry slowly marches to the ring. Axel attacks Henry, but Henry scoots him for a big slam. Henry dumps Axel to the apron, but Axel hangs on. Henry headbutts Axel, and he is eliminated. Ziggler and Bryan work on Henry now. Next man out at number 6 is Mike Kanellis. He makes his return to action as Henry stands tall. Henry immediately eliminated Kanellis for a possible record. Half second. As Ziggler and Henry go at it now, with Henry flooring Ziggler. The next man out is Hiroki Sumi, a Japanese sumo wrestling veteran that trained under Akabono. Sumi enters the ring and faces off with Henry in the middle of the ring. They lock up and test their strength, and Henry tries to eliminate Sumi over the top. Henry eliminated Sumi real quick. After that, Ziggler and Bryan immediately eliminated Henry. Victor Ascension was out next. Victor rushed the ring and unloads. Victor dropped Ziggler and nails a flying knee on Bryan. Victor is eliminated. Kofi was out next as Kofi took down Bryan and Ziggler at the same time. Bryan would kick to Kofi in the corner now. Next man out at number 10 was Tony Nese. Nese hits the ring and goes at it with Kofi. Bryan works on dumping Ziggler. Next man out was Dash Wilder. Wilder goes to work on Nese. Next man out was Hornswoggle. He's gained some weight since the last time everybody's seen him. Hornswoggle helps eliminate Wilder from the floor as he not even got in the ring. And then Hornswoggle takes out Kofi with a swoggle drop. Hornswoggle goes to the top for a tadpole splash, but Ziggler super kicks him. Nese ends up eliminating Hornswoggle. Primo Colon was out next. Primo goes right to work on Nese. Primo botches a move on the ropes. Ziggler and Bryan go at it. Number 14 entrant is Xavier Woods. Kofi almost gets dumped it, but he hangs on by landing on Woods' back. Woods carries Kofi all the way up to the top of the apron, top of the ring turnbuckles. Primo tries to finish the job, but they hang on. Woods climbs up top with Kofi on his back. Kofi leaps off of Woods' back to take down all the stars in the ring. Nice tries to dance with the New Day, and they both pick him up. They both pick up Nice and eliminate him on the shoulders. Bo Dallas is next man out. Dallas worked Kofi over, and Woods got super kicked. Bryan worked on Kofi, but got countered. Bryan with a suplex. Raw General Manager Kurt Angle was out next at number 16. Hall of Famer unloaded on everyone with suplexes. German suplexes. Angle eliminates Dallas and Cologne. Ziggler super kicked Angle. Angle eliminated Ziggler next. So your number 2 is out. Scott Dawson was out next. New Day double team Bryan. Goldust was out next at number 18. Goldust hits. Goldust tosses Bryan to the apron and rocks him, but he hangs on. Not paying attention, he just walks to the next opponent. Bryan fights back in. The next man out is Connor. Connor goes right to work on Kofi, but Woods makes a save. Goldust works on Bryan again and then goes after Connor. Elias is number 20, and Elias comes out with his guitar, doing his little concert version, asking who wants to walk with Elias. Goldust works on Angle as Elias talks and walks to the ring. Elias performs a song at ringside, but runs into the ring and dumps Connor. Connor is eliminated. Woods and Kofi at the same time. Luke Gallows was out next. Bryan and Angle go at it in the middle of the ring. Elias comes from behind and eliminated Angle. Gallows unloads with offense and around the ring. Rhino was out next. Drew Gulak hits the ring next, going right for Bryan. Goldust has Elias down in the corner. Next man out, number 24, Tucker Knight from WWE NXT. Tucker unloaded on Dawson and beats him down. Elias hits Tucker, but Tucker dropped him. Gulak with a sleeper on Tucker. Gulak has been eliminated by Tucker. Rude is out next to a pop. Goldust gets eliminated, apparently by Tucker. Scott Dawson accidentally eliminated himself as he was on the top ropes and falls off. I noticed somebody tripped the ropes and got knocked off, as he even announced that. Well, he eliminated himself. Fandango was out next and going at it with Tucker. Chad Gable was out next. Gallows worked Elias in the corner. Gable dropped Tucker with an electric chair. Bryan and Gable go at it. Number 28 entrance is Rey Mysterio. He hits the ring as pyro goes off. Rey unloads on Gallows to start. Rey eliminates Gallows. Fandango stops 619 from happening to Rude. Rey takes out Gable with a big DDT. Rey continues decking the other participants. Out next comes Mojo Rawley as Elias works on Rey. Mojo eliminates Fandango as soon as he hits the ring. Bryan works on Elias while Rhino works on Rude. Tyler Breeze was out next at number 30. Mojo tries to knock Breeze out, but he got dumped into Fandango's arms instead. Fandango puts him back on the apron, goes right back in him, and Mojo just knocks him right back off. And Rude works on Elias. The next man out was Big E as Rey worked on Tucker. Big E has a surprise for Tucker in the middle of the ring as he brings pancakes out from his tights. Tucker charges and Big E applies an abdominal stretch. Big E with the big ending on Tucker, and Big E then eliminated Tucker. Carl Anderson was out at number 32. Anderson ends up hitting Rude with a big spine buster after more offense. Well, it's a battle of spine busters. Both of them have that in their repertoire. Big E floors Anderson. Big E works on eliminating Anderson. Bryan worked on Gable in the corner. Next man out was Apollo Crews. And they're going back to his Apollo Crews name. As Rey hits a 619 on Rude, Crews hits the ring and takes out Gable. Crews with a standing moonsault. Crews eliminated Gable. Bryan fights off Crews and hangs on. Rhino worked on Crews in the corner. Anderson Big E worked on Mojo. The next entrant is NXT Tag Team Champion Roger Strong of the Undisputed Era. Strong goes at it with Elias and drop kicks him. Strong with a back breakers to Rude and then Anderson. Rey and Big E. Strong sends Rhino to the apron and eliminated him. Strong then worked over Rey now. The next man out was Randy Orton to a big pop. Orton heads to the ramp and floors Mojo. then Cruz. Orton power slams Anderson. Cruz elbows Orton and goes to the top, but Orton nails the RKO in midair. Orton tossed Anderson, then Mojo, then Cruz. Heath Slater was out next as Orton worked on dumping Ryan. Ray turns it around on Orton. Slater floors Big E with a knee. Slater works on dumping Elias now. Orton tries to eliminate Ray. Rude worked on Bryan. The next man out, number 37, NXT superstar, Babatunde Ayabusi. Hope I pronounced that right. Big man unloaded and floored Rude. Babatunde took shots from Bryan, but they do nothing. Babatunde puts the boots to Bryan in the corner. Baron Corbin was out next. Corbin drags Elias under the bottom rope and sends him into the ring steps. Corbin rocked Orton and enters the ring, dropping Strong and Rude. Ray kicked Corbin, but ducked clotheslines, but Corbin nails a big deep six. Corbin slices Rude in the corner, but runs into kicks from Strong. Corbin then runs around the ring and runs around the ring outside because it goes under the ropes. It's legal. And then back into the ring to knock Strong out of midair. Corbin then eliminated Rude and Strong. Next man out was Titus O'Neil. Titus Worldwide himself comes out and runs. As he runs to the ring, slips and falls under the ring apron. Titus gets pissed, but the announcers can't stop laughing at him and show it 3 or 4 times in replays. Bryan worked on and eliminated Orton. Dan Matthews from NXT was out. Titus is still being laughed at. Braun Strowman is out at number 41. Babatunde worked over Big E. Bryan fights off Corbin. Braun met Babatunde in the middle of the ring and tossed him as they stood face to face. Nothing more than a shoving and got eliminated. Then Matha. Braun then tossed Big E out. So Elias has eliminated 4, and so has Braun. Braun then catches Slater and tosses him out. That's number 5. On to the others. Braun stands tall and gets attacked by everyone else. Ty Dillinger was out next. Ty goes to save Braun from being dumped by the others. Braun shoves everyone off and tosses Titus to eliminate him. Braun tosses Ty next. Braun gets hit by Orton and Ray for the double team. Ray hits 619 and Orton hits the RKO. Braun almost eliminated Ray. Corbin eliminated Ray out of nowhere. And then Orton eliminated Corbin. Elias eliminated Orton, so we're 5-5 on eliminations. But maybe Braun has number 6. Elias goes to hang outside now. Kurt Hawkins was out next. Hawkins tries to run away, but Braun brings it back in. Braun deals with Bryan and Elias on the outside. Braun enters the ring, eliminates Hawkins. Elias goes to work on Braun. Now, feed kind of went buffering there. Lashley was out at number 44. The pyro goes off. Elias is still working on Braun in the corner. Lashley enters and runs over Elias, unloading him with offense. Lashley eventually eliminated Elias. Braun and Lashley go at it. Bryan runs in from the outside with drop kicks to both of them. For 2 weeks, they've been tag team partners. Bryan unloaded and yells out. Bryan tries to dump Lashley out. Great Khali was out at number 45. Lashley is still trying to dump Bryan. Great Khali marches to the ring and chops Lashley down. Khali drops Bryan with a big chop. Braun approached Khali and but Khali drops him with a chop. Strowman and Lashley team up on Khali now and eliminated him. Bryan, Lashley, and Braun all go down now. They are the only ones in the ring. Kevin Owens is out next. Owens with a corny cannonball to Braun. Lashley and Bryan go at it. Bryan drops Owens with a kick. Owens with a pop-up powerbomb to Bryan as Bryan breaks the record for the longest Rumble performance since Shawn Michaels, the Iron Man. Over an hour and 5 minutes. The next man out was SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon. Owens fumes as Shane runs to the ring. Shane unloads Bryan with lefts and rights. Shane with a big elbow to Owens. Shane mounts Owens with more strikes. Shane stomps on Lashley now. Shane counters Owens, hits a DDT. Shane dances around and looks at Bryan as he gets up. They face off in the middle of the ring. Shane lets Bryan have his way with Owens, but they take turns on Owens. Bryan beats Owens in the corner. The next entrant is Shelton Benjamin. Shelton tackles Shane, mounts him with strikes. Shelton floors Bryan, goes back at it with Shane. Shelton with a big knee to the jaw of Lashley. Braun blocks a knee from Shelton. Braun stumbles to his feet. Owens tries to get everyone to attack Braun. They all charge, but Braun fought everybody off. Out next comes Big Cass at number 49. Cass hits the rings, goes for Bryan. Others fall on him. Taking his knee out, Cass stays focused on Bryan. Cass and Shelton double team Braun. Lashley makes it a triple team. They drop Braun in a corner, and Shane goes to the top for a huge coast to coast. Braun goes under the bottom rope. Cass with a big fallaway slam on Lashley. Shelton with a big knee to Cass. Last man out, number 50, was Y2J, Chris Jericho, to a pop as Owens looks terrified. Owens yells at Jericho as he enters the ring. They unload on each other in the middle of the ring. Jericho drops Owens with his lion salt. Cass almost gets dumped, but hangs on. Jericho with a code breaker on Shelton. Jericho eliminated Shelton. Jericho goes for walls. Locked in on Owens. Owens taps, but it does no good. Cass breaks a hold with a big boot to Jericho. Lashley with a big suplex on Cass, but it's blocked. Lashley turns it into a brain buster. Bryan takes down Owens with a suplex. Bryan then knees to the face of Owens in the corner. Bryan tells Shane to get up and help him eliminate Owens. Shane goes back to the top for another coast to coast, but Braun runs up to the apron and grabs Shane by his neck. Braun launches Shane from the top through the announce table as it breaks. Coleslaw goes crazy. Shane is laid out as Coleslaw calls for help. Braun then dumps Lashley and Jericho next, then Owens. Bryan and Braun go at it now. Big Cass floors Bryan with a big boot. Cass eliminates Bryan. Cass talks trash to Bryan from the ring. Cass turns around and Braun stares him down. They meet in the middle of the ring as the fans pop. Cass and Braun go at it now. Cass runs a big boot and Braun catches it. Braun crotches Cass over the top rope and bounces it up and down. Braun charges Cass with a shoulder and eliminates him to get the win. After match, Braun stands tall as we go to replays. We come back to the ring as Vince McMahon is in the ring with local Saudi and officials of Braun. They present the large trophy and the GRR to Strowman. Strowman raises the title in the air as Vince cheers him on. Braun stands tall as local music plays as the power goes off in the ring and around the stadium as the Rumble goes off the air on the pay-per-view. And that concludes my greatest Royal Rumble results for this year, 2018. Date 4/27/2018. Thanks again. Peace out. See you on Bia. You don't know, just call me, brothers and sisters.